Hello and welcome to Wacky Wednesday. This is a new video series that I am doing. It is about calling out stupid people on an internet. For instance, flat earthers, which is what this video is about. In future videos I will be calling out anti-vaxxers, breatharians, people who eat fresh air and think it's got full of nutrients or something like that, when if you live in my hometown of Bolton, all you'll get is like car exhaust fumes, and your breath will smell of weed because there is a humongous weed cloud over the entire town of Bolton. But doesn't matter. So I'll be calling out those people. New playlist on Wednesdays. Here we go with the first one. Now, today's video is about a man called, I don't know what his name is. It says Brian Cox versus Leo, so I'm assuming he's called Leo. So this is about a man called Leo. He runs a YouTube channel called Level Earth Observer. Yes, he's a flat earther, and he thinks the earth is flat because tower cranes can't work on our globe. I don't quite know where he's gone from globe to flat, because tower cranes can't work on a globe. Why can the earth not be a cube or a cylinder, or can it not be concave? I've heard that one before, concave earth. That's a weird one. Anyway, today he is looking on this video that I've lifted from his channel. I'll put a link to his channel in the description below. In this video he believes that Brian Cox, who, if you don't know who he is, he's a famous professor, PhDs in physics and Coronation Street and goodness knows what. So he is on a program, a daytime television program, not a breakfast television program, Leo. Daytime television program called This Morning here in the UK. Now he's on this program, Brian Cox, he's on this program to promote his new television show, Forces of Nature. He is not there to prove a globe, which is what Leo thinks he is. Shall we get started? Here we go.
Brian Cox reveals why the earth is round this morning, which is a terrible British breakfast TV programme.
No. Brian Cox is not there to prove a globe. Brian Cox is there to promote his television show called Forces of Nature. If you did a little bit of research, I know flat earthers don't like research, but here we go. If you did a little bit of research, you would know this. There is one thing that I will agree with you on though. This morning is terrible. And yeah, it really is terrible. And that's the only thing that I will agree with you on. Oh, crikey.
Highly recommend you don't watch it. You'll end up front kicking your TV into oblivion. Trust me, don't watch it unless you want to destroy that TV, which isn't a bad idea, to be honest. But let's have a look what Brian's got, what he's bringing to the table. Is he going to shut the flat earth down with some real science? Obviously they're bringing out all the top guns. We saw the Globe Earth conference the other day when they brought in the big guns. Now we're getting the big guns appear on TV. Should we be worried?
No, you shouldn't be worried really, because Brian Cox isn't there to prove or disprove anything. He, along with 99.9% of the population, think the flat earth cult is an absolute joke. And it is.
Have a look.
Forces of nature.
Yeah.
So in what areas, what are you looking at?
Well, the idea is that if you look at the world that we see, so the green leaves, the blue sky, spherical planets.
Hang on, Brian, I've got to stop you there pretty much immediately. I do lots of observations, my dear man. I've never seen spherical planets. I've got a powerful camera and a half-decent telescope, but I've never seen spherical planets.
Maybe you should point your telescope towards the sky? Have you ever thought of that one?
I see lights in the sky that do not match the images produced by the mainstream science and NASA, space agencies like NASA. It don't match.
Maybe buy a better telescope. Just over a minute in, and you've already talked about NASA.
So we've got a problem there, Brian. You're pushing something that doesn't match observable reality already. I'm going to call you out on that, Brian, all right? You're making a bullshit assumption based purely on your heliocentric fetish for balls flying through vacuums. Sorry, Brian, that's not good enough. You're supposed to be proving.
Oh, yet again, right? He's not there to prove anything. Jesus!
The Earth is round here through science. You are a professor, after all, are you not? Or are you just a moronic, failed keyboard player who's got a touch of the mannequin about him, who's just parroting utter fucking nonsense for a half-decent wage? I don't know, let's have a look. We'll work out what you are.
Here's what he is on the screen. Professor.
All those things are telling you something about the deeper structure that underlies nature. So even life. So next week's is about the origin of life. So it's how did...
That should be interesting, shouldn't it? I wonder if that'll be based on a story. And layers of stories, layers of story upon story upon story.
Tell me, you're an evolution denier, aren't you?
I'm wondering if there'll be some presentations in CGI, Brian. Let me think.
Thought so.
We feel living is a very special thing, but it's a property of matter, of this stuff. The Earth was once just a dead world when it formed, 4.5 billion years ago, and at some point that matter came along.
Can you prove anything you've just said there? No, of course you can. You're saying it in such a matter-of-fact manner. You've got absolutely no evidence to back that claim. Brian, you're a moron, mate.
People with more than one brain cell would call it I've written it down. Radiometric age dating. They date meteorites from perhaps the moon or Martian meteorites and stuff like that. Do you have any evidence of a flat Earth? Instead of going, nah, that's all bollocks, nah, you're all wrong and I'm right. Anything like that for me? Offer us as a race.
And you go to some really far-flung destinations, and as you can see there from that tiny bit that we showed, I mean, it's beautiful. Like, it's beautifully shot, and you see some incredible things that you wouldn't necessarily have to get to see.
Yeah, I think that was the idea, to send film crews out, and it's sort of the way you mentioned David Attenborough earlier, the way that his program.
I thought you were proving the ridiculous pantomime theory that we live on a cannonball flying through a vacuum. All you've done so far is tickle your own undercarriage. Get on with it, Brian.
He is there to promote his TV show. Got it? Good.
Work where a film crew can go in for months even, film something spectacular. And we saw that wave on that clip through the Amazon.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful, incredible tidal wave that goes up the river. And you see in the film that someone spends their life surfing it. So there's kind of, his whole thing is to wait for this wave and surf into the...
What the fuck's this got to do with living on a cannonball flying through a vacuum, Brian?
Oh my god. It has nothing to do with living on a cannonball. No one has ever said that, by the way, apart from Flips. It has to do with his programme.
Jungle of the Amazon.
How often does it come along?
It comes when the moon and the sun are aligned. So I think it's about once every couple of months or something like that. The Pororoca is called.
Well, you're not, because they go out and they sit for months waiting for something to happen.
No.
The right thing to happen. You're not there all the time. You're in.
I saw Philip a few months back on the street. What a sketchy character he is. I won't say where it was, but he was dead sketchy. I mean, he does believe he's living on a ball flying through a vacuum, so I suppose you would be sketchy.
So folks, Sculf is sketchy, or Philip Schofield is sketchy because he believes the scientific consensus, and B, because he claims he's met him on a street somewhere, but won't say where. Now, who's being sketchy?
One less, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, that was the idea, to film these beautiful things. So you can't, if I'm there, it's kind of, you can't spend all that time. We had different crews out at the same time filming things. And then the idea was to try and stitch it together. Essentially, you ask the question, what is it? What's the biggest, the tallest mountain you could make on a planet like the Earth? What sets that? So you've got the Earth's gravity, which depends on...
So we got the Earth's gravitational theory. Okay, so we're getting into the realms of storytelling here, even though we're supposed to be proving the Earth is round. Okay.
Targeting in, are you? There's a shock. He's ticking all the Flurf boxes, isn't he? Really is. I should play Flurf bingo, shouldn't I? Oh.
Mass, really, how much stuff is in the Earth. And it's pulling it down. So you can imagine there's a force.
So we have to imagine there's a force. Okay, this is getting really scientific now.
Him saying, imagine a force, is not the saying that's an imaginary force, is it? Not really the same thing. It's like saying, oh, imagine that tree over there. Or imagine a tree there. Doesn't mean that trees are imaginary, does it? I'm only saying tree because I can see trees outside me flat.
On the ground. And the bigger you build the thing, the more the force is.
The bigger that we build the thing, the more imaginary force we need to apply. Is that right, Brian? Okay, I got it.
You can work out, well, what is it when that force overwhelms the strength of the rock and it starts to sink?
Your
There's actually on
imagination
Earth, the mountain Mauna Kea, which is one of the Hawaiian volcanoes. It's actually taller than Everest, if you measure from the surface of the seafloor. And that's sinking. So that's as tall as it can get.
Sinking.
Yeah, so it's too
So
heavy.
that is as tall as they go.
Yeah.
They could go here.
So if you've got a big enough planet with enough gravity, essentially, then anything that gets too big will sink. And
So this moron is claiming the mountain, or volcano, or whatever it is in Hawaii, is being sucked to the centre of an imaginary ball. Where's your evidence, Brian? I thought we were proving a globe.
It's not what he said at all. He said it is sinking because of the mountain's weight, not because it's being sucked in. But how do we measure weight? I'll leave that to you because my Google's broken. And he's not there to prove a bloody globe, you arsehead.
gravity just works in it. It doesn't care which angle you're at. So it
pushes it back
into a circle, to a sphere, if it's big enough. And then you look out into the solar system, little moons, less than about 150 miles across or something like that, have not got enough gravity, so they're all misshapen. It's called the potato radius.
Look at the state of him. Now, in the 70s, there was a game, a kid's toy, called Mr. Potato. There's a touch of the Mr. Potato about our Mr. Brian Cox here. There's also a slight twist of mannequin. I'd probably better leave it there. I don't want to get too brutal on our friend here.
Potato radius. It's real. I've done a little bit of a screenshot for you because my Google's suddenly working again. Plus, we don't know what you look like, do we? I mean, do you look like a young Richard Gere? Or do you look like Emperor Palpatine's dad? Answer on postcard, please.
Yeah,
That's a good
potato
name.
shape.
I can say that one.
But the potato radius.
So
Show us with the...
I should add, I originally thought this guy was a lying deceiver. He's not. He's just a deluded moron who believes...
Calling him a deluded moron isn't going to help your case much now, is it? Especially when you're doing it without any evidence.
The perfect person to control. Stupid and egotistical. Perfect. That's why he's here. But it's so obvious what these clowns are about. It would seem now we're about to get to the scientific stuff for the globe. Thank goodness for that, because all we've had so far is waffle.
Oh, yeah. So, well, the way that I demonstrated it, you just wanted to get messy,
Yeah,
don't
of
you?
course we did.
So the way that we demonstrated it in the programme is say, so what am I doing? If I want to make that into a ball, then I have to apply enough force to overcome if I don't apply enough force.
Right, so I'm struggling to see where a moronic, half-wit ex-keyboard player fits into the heliocentric model. Are you claiming the globe's wet sand and that you're God? Where's it? How does this demonstration back anything other than your stupidity, Brian?
And I'm struggling to find a reason to keep listening to your crappy commentary, because all you've done is just name call and just gone bollocks. But, you know, just because you don't understand something doesn't mean that it's wrong. I mean, this is the sort of stuff that gets taught in, like, late primary, early secondary schools. So, you know, go figure.
But it'll stay like some sort of misshaped, potato shape. So that's what gravity is doing, really. It's acting as a force that's...
So a theory is doing that. Okay, this is real scientific.
squashing.
Gravity is a scientific theory, not a theory. Learn the bloody difference. Scientific theory, two different things. Go on a Google and find out.
And it'll turn it into a sphere because it acts the same in every direction.
Hello, YouTube. For more...
Hang on, that was it.
Yeah, that was it.
So, just to recap. We've had Brian waffle on for 2 or 3 minutes about a guy surfing up a river, telling a few stories, a mountain being sucked to the bottom of the oceans because of gravity, to the centre of the supposed globe Earth. We've been told we've got to use our imagination to imagine things being sucked and pulled to a ball. And then we got to see Brian squash some wet sand in his hand. And that there, ladies and gentlemen, is the globe proof.
That there, ladies and gentlemen, is a man appearing on another television show to promote his own television show. That there, ladies and gentlemen, is proof, if anyone needed, that a flat earther, your average flat earther, has the intellectual capacity of a squashed apricot. Thank you to Blackadder III for that particular insult. Comedy gold.
That's supposed to debunk observable reality.
You mean observable reality? You mean like this? This may be. Or even this.
No practical demonstration. No practical demonstrations. That there. Brian, you're a fucking moron, mate.
I think there's only one moron. And it ain't him, seeing as he's, a professor and everything. Seems to have good common sense and knowledge and stuff like that, which is what the average flat earther sadly lacks. Now, don't forget to pay your subscription to your Flat Earth cult. And thank you, everybody, for joining me on this very first Wacky Wednesday. Hope you enjoyed it. Please like, share and subscribe, because I will be doing a video along the same lines as this every Wednesday. And I've really enjoyed putting it all together. I'm going to show, if there's a call for it, I'm going to show exactly how I've done it. You can probably guess because because you're all intelligent people, unlike flat earthers and breatharians and anti-vaxxers and conspiracy nutters and sovereign citizens. Oh dear. Anyway, I'm off to go and find some more stupid. Until the next time, toodle pip.